Okay, question.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Speaking about consistency, for a student of knowledge, be it like in physical class and online, like how do we maintain our focus, and how do we also maintain being motivated going to class, because sometimes it can get a little bit difficult.
Yes, definitely.
But so what are your tips?
Okay, top 4 or 5 tips. Let's see if I can get through them.
Okay.
Number 1, constantly working on your sincerity. And sincerity is actually a very big part of spirituality, right? Being sincere means you're doing what you're doing for the right reasons, right? So when you're seeking knowledge, the question that we need to ask ourselves is like, why am I doing this? There are many reasons why people may seek knowledge, right? And actually the Prophet told us of 3 wrong reasons. Number 1, the Prophet said, someone who seeks knowledge just to argue with people, or to argue with the ignorant, to argue with the foolish, right? Yeah, basically, right? Just to argue with people and be like, you know, I know what I'm talking about, you don't know what you're talking about, put people down or whatever, and that's, you know, type of arrogance. The second wrong reason is to boast amongst the scholars, right? To be like, yeah, I'm a scholar, you know, I'm so-and-so, whatever, like to sit amongst the scholars. And I know I can see, like, subhanAllah, sometimes I see like young kids and stuff, and they're like, I wish I could sit with the scholars and all that. I'm like, subhanAllah, that's exactly what the Prophet talked about. Thirdly, and then this is it's a beautiful imagery the Prophet gave us. He said, to turn the faces of people towards yourself, right? That's like literally for the attention, right? Those are the wrong reasons. The right reasons are we gain knowledge to get closer to Allah. We gain knowledge to remove ignorance from ourselves. We gain knowledge to be a guiding light for ourselves, our families, our friends, to be a positive influence in society, to help other people. Those are the right reasons. If in the meantime, like, you do get the attention, well, that's fine, nothing wrong with the attention, but that's not the reason why we gain knowledge. So constantly purifying your intention is one of the best ways to stay motivated. Okay. Constantly asking yourself, why am I doing this? And if your intention is wrong, rectifying it. Right? Be like, you know what? I need to make sure I'm doing it for the right reason. And that's a constant, lifelong struggle. It's not like an on and off switch. It's not like you're either sincere or not sincere. It's an issue of you have to constantly, and even when you've gained a lot of knowledge, and when you're public speaking or you're teaching, whatever, even then, all of us, we have to constantly be working on our intention. And that does 2 things. Number 1, it motivates us. Number 2, it puts barakah, or blessings, in the knowledge that we're seeking. Right? So without sincerity, our knowledge is void of blessings. It's just information. It's just facts that we're collecting, and then without sincerity, it also becomes hard to act upon that knowledge, right? And it's one thing to sit and gain knowledge and just learn and learn and learn. It's another thing to actually act upon it and have it make a positive change in your life. So sincerity, spirituality, putting into practice what you're learning, and that for me is, subhanAllah, that's the point. In the scholars of the past, I would say the thamara, the fruit of knowledge, is action. Right? So when you can put it into practice. So every student of knowledge, they have to, like, their knowledge has to reflect in their actions. Their character, the way they treat people, the way they talk to people, the way they behave, and their relationship with Allah in terms of their worship and things like, is the quality of your worship, not necessarily the quantity, but is the quality of your worship getting, is it improving? Other than that, what I mentioned before, when it comes to gaining knowledge, not overwhelming yourself. There's a tendency to go all out once again, because we have so much knowledge available to us. There's classes, there's lectures, YouTube, blah, blah. Like, you could sit there for hours and learn. But it's very important to take things, once again, slow and build upon the basics. Number 2, having the right people around you, once again. So people who are students of knowledge like yourself, if they're around you, you can motivate one another, right? Like, there's gonna be days when you're gonna be like, I just don't feel like doing it. I remember when I was studying in Medina, there were days that I was like, I can't. Like, I just don't feel like, I just not feeling it today. But a friend would call me up, and he's like, listen, I'm picking you up for the halaqah, let's go, whatever. So you need the right people there as well.
Support.
Also, I would say, and you may not hear people say this, but one of the ways to stay motivated is to actually teach other people what you're learning. So not only just learning it and putting it into practice for yourself, but when you learn something, share it with people, and teach people what you've learned as well. Those are just some tips, inshallah, to stay motivated, stay on track, inshallah, when you're seeking knowledge. Yeah.